be completely honest with you guys, I have a hard enough time maintaining my commitment or my promise to give and deliver regularly scheduled content on a consistent basis on the main channel, on Toxic Touch Productions. And then it dawns on me every so often that I have a second channel, and I'm over here at Toxeyboyo as well. Well, I remembered recently, and I was like, how long's it been since that last upload? What did I upload last? So I went and I looked, and I saw that it was the reaction to the Kakashi Obi-Wan Kenobi death battle. You guys didn't like that one too much. And what's really funny about this, I'm going to tell you guys a secret, okay? A lot happens between me recording these videos and you seeing them. Sometimes weeks go by, sometimes even a month or two goes by. There's videos that I record that never get put out because they become outdated before I even get a chance to finish them. Because I have friends, I have a girlfriend, I have a job. Now some of you who are watching this video don't know what those words mean. That's okay. When you get older, you'll come to understand. But you also, what you lack in those things, you make up for in an inability to listen. An utter and complete inability to listen. Now, in the time that goes by between me recording these videos and uploading them, I typically forget 100% of what I say. Because I'm recording so many of these. And sometimes I do multiple sessions before I even edit anything from the first session. And with all of that happening, it's easy to forget what I said. But I went and I looked at what I said in the Kakashi Obi-Wan death battle reaction. I told you guys I didn't want to argue in the comments. Yet, every comment is an attempt to argue with me. So, I'm going to tell you guys right here, right now, I don't care. By the time you see this video, not only will I have recorded 6 more like it for this channel alone, but who knows what I'll have done for the main channel. Who knows how much time will have passed. So by the time you're seeing what I'm saying right now, I promise you, I would bet my life on that I have no idea what I'm about to say. You will be arguing with the wall. I promise you that. And you'll be making yourself look foolish. Okay? I don't care to have an argument with you. Alright? You'll never convince me to care to have an argument with you. That's just how it is. Okay? You can disagree. I don't care. I do not care. Because at the end of the day, we're talking about cartoon characters fighting in a video made by a third party with no affiliation to either IP. If you want to complain that I'm using official Star Wars material to scale Star Wars characters, be my guest. But I don't care. In fact, I might not even see that you said that for a month after you said it. Okay? So when you consider what you're about to put in the comment section, think about how stupid it's going to make you look. Because if you go into these comments and you try to argue with me, you are an idiot. It's that simple. So, with all that out of the way, let's get started. So today I'm going to be recording reactions to Madara vs. Aizen, Ichigo vs. Yusuke Urameshi, Dante vs. Clive, Hulk vs. Godzilla, Spider-Man vs. Deku, Ruby vs. Maka, and Ash vs. Yugi. So, any of these videos that you see, these 7 reactions were recorded in the same session. So it still applies. I know you niggas are going to keep watching. You're going to watch the other ones too. Because you have a problem, and so do I. So, expect to see one of these every day for a week, starting whenever this one gets out there. I'm recording this on February 23rd. Let's see if you see it before March. Anyway. Now, I actually have... you would think that I have a dog in this fight, Madara vs. Aizen, because on a completely honest level with you guys, I have so much love for both of these characters. They are my top 1 and 2 anime villains of all time. Just like Obi-Wan and Kakashi, they're in my favorite fictional characters of all time. They're not even just 2 of my favorite anime villains, they're 2 of my favorite villains, alongside like Darth Vader and Doctor Doom and Magneto, you know? It's that same tier. I think that this is a battle that, I don't know if I ever saw this one, to be honest with you, but like, it's definitely one that caught my interest, because the characters are kind of similar, and like their motivations, about how like, they become aware that they're like living a lie basically, and they want to take control of it. They've kind of got similar abilities. They can both hypnotize, but Madara's whole thing isn't necessarily his ocular genjutsu, although his plan is to genjutsu the whole world, so who knows. And they're similar in that, like, we don't know what Aizen's Bankai does or what Madara's Mangekyo Sharingan ability is. So yeah, there's a lot of common ground between these two characters, and so I think that obviously makes for a really good matchup. But without any further ado, I am interested to see how they're going to scale Madara. Not Madara, Aizen, because I want to know if they're going to use, like, Chair-sama Aizen, or if they're just going to use, like, up till Fate Karakura Town, because... I mean, it's also interesting to know how they're going to scale Madara as well. I assume, because I did see a Rinnegan, that they're probably going to use Jubidara. So if they're going to use Jubidara, they probably ought to use Chair-sama Aizen, but we'll see. So why can't I hear anything? Hang on. If you've ever used Bose headphones and tried to use them wired, let me know if you also find it to be like the most frustrating experience you've ever had as a human being. Anyway, let's continue.
Is there a gas leak in here?
Now the real fun begins.
Is that Tengai Shinsei?
The Soul Society was in chaos. One of
Old
its
Bleach.
Shinigami was set to be executed.
Gotta love that
under
standard
suspicious
definition.
circumstances. A band of humans from the living world had invaded to save her, and Sosuke Aizen, captain of the 5th Division of the Gotei 13, was dead, murdered.
What dastardly mastermind could have been behind all?
To be honest, I'm gonna be able to figure out if they're using Chair-sama Aizen by watching the fight. This is interesting.
All right, the combatants are.
Why are we
set
using,
to
like,
run
his
the
game
gamut of all
renders?
possibilities.
But first, if you
Ooh! Ooh, man, Jump Force is a hideous game, isn't it? Oh, you can't even see. Hang on. Look at Aizen. Look at Madara. That's horrible. Here we go.
want the confidence of an anime supervillain, check out Blue Chew.
This episode is brought to you by Blue Chew.
The secret to, well, pretty much anything.
That's really funny that, like, Death Battle is doing a sponsorship with Blue Chew. Death Battle's audience is not getting any play. Like, I don't even... Come on now.
Getting ready to go?
Okay.
Just sign up at bluechew.com.
But right now,
This has gone on way longer than I thought it would. Okay, so this is a pixel art battle. Okay. Not a problem.
You can see me.
I can see everything.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, would Madara be able to see Aizen? I don't see why not. Once he has either Sage Mode or the Rinnegan, I don't think that, you know, EMS Madara is going to see him, but he may be able to sense him. I don't know. For the sake of the battle, though, obviously, it's going to help if one guy can see the other.
Did you see that?
So now he's already seen Kyoka Suigetsu. What did he do? He's using wood style. Okay. So if he's using wood style, that means he's already died and come back. So I think we're looking at Edo right now.
I would expect nothing more from a human.
So, okay. Was that a Genjutsu that he just used? Okay, so he's got his Rinnegan active. What's he doing with it? And then it just went to Sharingan. Not to say that, like, Madara's ocular Genjutsu prowess is weak. He does have EMS after all, so, like, his ocular Genjutsu would be, you know, by default stronger than most other Uchiha. But look at all those fingers. But, I don't know why he would devolve from the Rinnegan to the Sharingan in this scenario.
tricks. Don't get so full of yourself.
Oh, he straight to butterflies him. Okay. His sword's supposed to be part of his hand. So he's gonna use Tengashinsei, it looks like. So that's pretty much something that Madara can only do if he's Edo, because he will blow himself the While he was in that cube, don't worry about it. He summoned the Ten Tails and absorbed it off screen. He's also got 2 eyes. That's important, because Madara did not have 2 eyes for very long in the actual material. He was rocking 1 eye for most of the time that he was Jubidara. He got his 2nd eye, then he got his 3rd eye, then he did the tree, and then he's like, all right, Zetsu, I'm about to go all out, step back, and then he got betrayed. There's not a whole lot of 2-eyed Madara to pull from, but let's go. So yeah, he can theoretically do it while he's in 6-pan stage mode, because he does have regeneration, but I think his regeneration as an Edo is faster and more thorough, so it's better to blow himself open. He's made of dirt than while he's made of living flesh, I think. Space is open. Okay. So he's still got 1 more like mode after this, because it's not like It's not like Aizen ever loses the Hogyoku. I don't think he can, right? We got the perfect Susanoo in the mix. If I'm being completely honest, I expect Madara to win this, because I do think that he just has more options for winning. Because if he wanted to, he could just put Aizen in a big rock and send him to outer space. You know? There are more win conditions for Madara here than there are for Aizen, I think. Yeah, he's crazy like that. It also seems interesting that, hang on. It seems interesting that, like, we moved on from Hypnosis, like, right away. I guess it just nebulizes that, like, Madara is immune to Kyoka Suigetsu and Aizen is immune to Akira Genjutsu. But I would hazard to say that if he's able to cast Infinite Tsukiyomi off the moon, it should probably work on Aizen. But I don't know, whatever. Ooh.
You almost had me there, you tricky bastard.
Nothing escapes my illusions, human.
Okay, cool. So you know what I just said about Kyoka Suigetsu? I take that back. But this is a cool shot, to be honest. It harkens back to Black Zetsu. I get a text. I'll worry about that later. Yeah, it harkens back to Black Zetsu. So it looks like we've still got a ways to go before this is over.
My illusions, human. Know your place.
Is that Genjutsu? It is. I'm not even sure what just happened. But yeah, truth-seeking orbs will do that to you.
What a wonderful dance.
Okay. I'm more or less okay with that, because like I said, Madara has a lot more to his kit.
Of course Madara won! He fake died twice for his 5D chess plan, while Aizen only fake died once.
Aizen and
Fair
Madara
enough.
were extremely evenly matched in raw power and speed. By our calculations, Madara spreading the God Tree's roots with his chakra was about 7 times more powerful than the best that Aizen could scale to with his rare yoke, and both ended up being roughly as fast as each other.
While there are a range of possible feats and numbers to go with to determine their limits, the point is they're always going to be close to even.
which means the main thing that mattered here were their powers and how they countered each other. Madara's
Yeah.
enormous variety of abilities eventually overwhelmed Aizen.
Wow,
That's the thing, is like, Madara does have so much in his kit that it's kind of like, even Kishimoto ran into problems with like really demonstrating everything Madara can do in a fight, because he's got wood release, he's got flame release, he's got like all types of crazy like yin and yang release when he's got six-path sage mode, like the light fang. He never even did that in this fight. He's got all sorts of ridiculous Rinnegan abilities that he never uses in Naruto. I don't know why you don't see him use like the Ashura path or anything like that. Like, obviously I don't think the Predator path is going to help him very much in this, or the animal path, but like the human path, what happens if you rip the soul out of someone who just is a soul? You know, how does that work? But he could theoretically use the Naraka path to heal himself, but I don't think he needs to do that because he's got regeneration with six-path sage mode. He's got sage mode, just regular sage mode. I mean, Madara has so much in his kit. It's kind of like, he kind of feels like he was created by like a 10-year-old that's just got so many powers that like you can't fathom a way to defeat him. Like, even in Naruto, when Naruto and Sasuke got their huge boosts, they were like kind of stomping Madara for a while, but then he got his second eye from Obito and things changed. Wait. Yeah, my bad. My brain was thinking that because he took Kakashi's Sharingan to get to Obito, that he was taking the Sharingan. He's obviously collecting the Rinnegan. Zetsu had one of them, and he gave it to him, and then he got the other one from Obito's head. Anyway, like, Madara was ultimately defeated by plot. Like, it seems as though even with as much power as Naruto and Sasuke gained, when Madara had both Sharingan, but he had both Rinnegan, they still probably wouldn't have defeated him. So he was beaten by plot. You know, Zetsu just betrayed him, and then here comes Kaguya. He turns into a fucking rabbit. Aizen was defeated partially by, like, he lost his will to continue, and he was outsmarted by a character who we know is a super genius, who definitely had a bone to pick with Aizen because he double-crossed him way in the past. So there's a little bit of payoff there, more so than with Madara's defeat.
Like Aizen may be invisible to regular people, the Rinnegan allowed Madara to see invisible spiritual beings.
Truth-seeking balls were stated to prevent Edo Tensei from regenerating because they nullified the jutsu, and given the similarities between chakra and Ryoryoku, and the fact that Minato's soul was damaged even after the jutsu was released, Aizen would react the same way. I agree with that. When we're dealing with verses between different... when we're dealing with versus battles between characters from different verses, you have to take verse equalization into account. So, like, if there's chakra, if there's nen, if there's, you know, ki, if there's Ryatsu, whatever the power is in that show, we have to treat it as though it behaves the same way. Otherwise, Madara wouldn't be able to genjutsu Aizen, and Aizen wouldn't be able to kill Kisuigetsu Madara. It just, you know, you have to make certain concessions. So I can completely buy that, because Minato's arms were ripped off by truth-seeking orbs, and when he went back to heaven, he still had no arms. That is one of the biggest things that pisses me off about the ending of the war arc. He can't even hug his son. And not only that, when he goes back to heaven, he can't hug his wife either. Anyway.
Hell, the Rinnegan lets you see and remove human souls, and that's exactly what a Soul Reaper is.
Both chakra and Ryoryoku utilize spirit energy and operated in similar ways, being formed into attacks like ninjutsu and kido. That meant that Madara's ability to absorb ninjutsu allowed him to nullify the vast majority of Aizen's range attacks, and even dispel his force fields.
So the Predator path would be useful, fair enough.
Sharingan users can break out of illusions no sweat, even ones as powerful as Itachi's Tsukuyomi. And since Madara can switch
so that assumes that Sasuke broke out of Tsukuyomi when they fought, rather than Itachi released him from Tsukuyomi. That's a completely different debate that I'm not going to get into right now. I do plan on doing an Itachi versus Madara video sometime soon, and I will talk about that in that video. So if you're interested in what I think about that, then stay tuned, I guess. I have no clue when that's coming out.
Even one's as powerful as Itachi's Tsukuyomi. And since Madara can switch between the Rinnegan and the Sharingan at will, he'd be able to break out of an illusion anytime he wanted.
Aizen's illusions are nearly
I'm just
perfect,
of the
but fellow
opinion
Captain
that,
Gohan
like, that doesn't matter. Because, like, Sasuke... Oh, I guess you're right, though. Because I was going to say Sasuke doesn't have to revert his Rinnegan to a Sharingan, because A, he can't, but B, like, he doesn't need to do that to use Amaterasu, but his Rinnegan is different. It has Tomoe in it. And when he starts running out of chakra, those Tomoe disappear, and he can't use Amaterasu anymore, so never mind. Never mind. When your Sharingan evolves into a Rinnegan organically, it does seem like you lose access to those Sharingan abilities, unless you switch back and forth.
Ano was able to subconsciously notice its flaws. With an eye as perceptive as the Sharingan, which can spot imperfections in genjutsus all the time, it was only inevitable that Madara would be able to quickly break out.
However, the same couldn't be said for Aizen, who never showed any resistance to the kind of mental illusions Madara can create.
Even setting illusions aside,
That's
the
fair.
sheer quantity of
He
offensive options
he
at Madara's
did
disposal,
fall victim
clones,
to
meteors, or monsters summoned by the Rinnegan, kept
oh, what's his
Aizen
name?
constantly on the back foot.
Hirako's
But
ability.
none of that mattered if they couldn't kill each other, and both had pretty insane healing factors that could recover from just about anything.
Correct.
Except for those pesky 8 balls of doom.
Madara's truth-seeking orbs were capable of completely molecularly annihilating spiritual beings and preventing them from regenerating. And again, Aizen was a spiritual being.
And Aizen lacked the ability to do the same here.
Since characters much weaker than Madara and Aizen perform lightspeed feats, they would likely end up much faster. However, based on further calculations, they'd still upscale to roughly the same degree. Yeah, I don't really care about, like, physical stats between characters like this. Who can lift more, who can move faster, that doesn't matter to me. It's more about what their actual powers are.
Reversible damage to Madara, the ghost of the Uchiha had exactly what he needed to put this actual ghost down for good.
Aizen was an unbelievably overpowered foe, but Madara's own powers, illusions, and devastating truth-seeking orbs allowed him to crush the ex-Shinigami.
Sosuke should have kept his eyes on the prize. And,
Do you feel any shame at all?
moderately. Ha! Double
Okay.
fun. Suck it, Wiz.
The winner is Madara Uchiha.
Okay. That's one that I more or less agree with. I can't really say too much. Like I said, I love these characters equally. If they had found a way for Sosuke to win, if they backed it up well, I would have been fine with that. I don't have a bias towards either character in that situation, but I can't wait to still have to deal with you certain folks in the comments. 99% of you, I'm not mad at, and you know that. Like, hit dogs will holler, right? The ones of you that have already leapt into the comments or are going to leap into the comments to fight me on what I'm saying, regardless, that's what I'm talking about. But that's all I've got to say about this one. I will invite you to comment who you think, regardless of how this battle went down, who you think would win between Madara and Aizen. Who you prefer? Do you like Bleach or One Piece? Do you like Bleach or Naruto more, or are you a One Piece fan? Anyway, all that being said, I'll see you tomorrow with the next one.